There are superhero powers that we would all love to have. Who hasn't wanted to fly over buildings or fly through doors? Even though none of us will ever become a superhero, it is cool to study these figures. There's a lot to learn about them, and as you study these protectors of Earth, you may have some questions about some weird storylines. Let's take a look at some fun memories from superhero characters and try to make sense of them. As we go through some of your favorite comic book characters, think about this question. Why didn't Iron Man use Vision at the beginning of the airport fight in Captain America Civil War? Do you have a good answer for us? Let us know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe and join the notification squad for more awesome videos like this every day. Here is ScreenRant's list of 10 confusing superhero ideas that have smart explanations. And now before we start, can you guess this movie from these emojis? Stick around to the end for the answer.
I will be reinstituting Prima Nocta.
Deadpool lifts Thor's hammer. Picking up Thor's hammer is a goal that many have had in mind, and only few have been worthy of. So how did Deadpool, of all characters, lift this mighty hammer? During one of Thor's heroic missions, he drops his hammer, and Loki has Deadpool retrieve it. Once Deadpool finds the hammer, he goes on a frolicking trip that includes batting baseballs, ordering fast food, and even more fun mockery. This happened because Loki made Thor's real hammer invisible and made a fake one for Deadpool to cause havoc. So in all reality, he never picked up Thor's hammer.
You're pulling your punches.
Scarlet Witch defeats Vision. Vision can not only lift Thor's hammer Mjolnir, but he can knock Ultron out of the park with it. So how is it that Scarlet Witch can defeat Vision? Vision has the power to control his density due to the extraordinary material he's made of. This is how he flies through objects, including an extra tall Ant-Man, and doesn't flinch when he's hit. Scarlet Witch has the telekinetic ability to force material to her will, and that is what she does to Vision. Now when are these two gonna fall in love like in the comics already?
Wow, great reflexes.
Superpowers. It's true that many superheroes receive their powers through dangerous levels of gamma radiation, but why doesn't this radiation kill them? On Earth 616, most characters receive their powers from Celestials. Celestials' motives and origins are beyond human understanding, but we do know that they're alarming, and what makes them even more alarming is that that's all we know. Celestials tampered with the population of Earth's genes, but humans need an event like a gamma bomb to activate these genes and gain superpowers. Hence why Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man instead of Deadman.
One of them?
Magneto regains his powers. After the House of M series, millions of mutants were reduced to just a few hundred after Scarlet Witch robs them of their powers. One mutant that lost his powers was Magneto. His powers, plus those of all the other mutants, go into a mutant known as Michael Pointer. Pointer didn't know he was a mutant, and was not able to hold all of these powers, so he released them into Magneto, hoping he could be a vessel. This is how Magneto got his powers back, and most likely many of the other mutants.
Fine! Commando!
Cable and Deadpool. With the release of Deadpool 2 coming up, we're all excited to see him and Cable on the big screen together. The duo have shared 50 issues of Cable and Deadpool, but the question is, why are these two always together? Wade Wilson was sent back in time by a war profiteer who wanted to rewrite history in his favor, making the Confederates win the Civil War and keeping Hitler alive until the 1960s. Cable didn't like that one bit, and goes back in time to stop him. They both accidentally fall through a time portal together, making them stuck together until the writers decide otherwise. Villain and superhero outfits. You can usually guess if the character in a superhero comic is good or bad just by looking at their outfit. If it's purple and green, they're most likely a villain, and if it's red and blue, they're probably fighting for justice. Blue and red represent the American flag, which is a staple of freedom, but the reasoning has a little more to do with the pocketbooks of comic book manufacturers. Only a small rainbow of colors were used, white, blue, yellow, green, and purple, in order to cut costs. Superheroes stood in the light, so they got the brighter colors, and villains wore colors that represented evil and deceitful ways. The real question here is, do you think they all go to the same dry cleaner?
You ever tried shawarma?
Iron Man's eyes. Speaking of superhero suits, one question that has probed numerous comic book fans is in regards to Iron Man. How does Iron Man see through his glowing eyes in his helmet? The answer is, he doesn't. His outfit is equipped with numerous cameras all around his suit so Tony Stark can see anything around him. Maybe that's why he was able to spot the shawarma restaurant on the side of him as he was fighting to save Earth.
You're not the director of me.
I'm not the director of anybody. I'm just an old man
who cares very much about you.
Superheroes don't age. Have you ever read an old comic and wondered how Tony Stark fought in Vietnam and had his heart pierced by a shard of shrapnel in the Persian Gulf? Why aren't superheroes in their 80s fighting today? That's because of the sliding timescale, a way to keep characters alive in comics forever. Comic book characters are timeless, and just because Spider-Man's first comic came out in 1962 doesn't mean he won't relate to kids today. So writers change their backstory to create new stories with old characters we love, and we're glad they do.
Come on! Grow those back.
Wolverine's healing power. To understand the changes to Wolverine's healing powers in Logan, one has to understand his age. He was born James Jimmy Howlett in Canada circa 1832, and the film Logan takes place in 2029, making him just under 200 years old. With age comes changes to his powers, and one change is the way Logan heals. Once cut or shot, he heals quickly, but it leaves behind a scar now. The director of Logan, James Mangold, stated that Logan's abilities are aging, which is making them change. Makes you wonder, would Wolverine lose his powers one day, or would they just become weaker?
And I'm a huge fan of the way you lose control and turn into an enormous green rage monster.
Hulk's IQ. Have you ever wondered how Hulk goes from forming full intelligent sentences to short phrases that a 5-year-old would laugh at? First, you'll have to know that Bruce Banner time travels a lot in the MCU, and with time travel comes numerous aliases, but that's not the only part of Banner that changes. His backstory changes too, and this makes shifts in the intelligence of the Hulk. This is also why he would become more aggressive and even change his colors, and if they don't fix it, he may be a red, child-taking Hulk with anger issues one day for good. Were you as surprised as we were about Iron Man's outfit or Deadpool hanging out with Loki? How about that Hulk IQ? Make sure to check out another ScreenRant video, and thanks for watching.